Good afternoon. Here we are at Pidcock Triumph with John and Gawin. It's been a while since the last podcast. We did do one, but unfortunately there was an audio problem. I tried to say something technical about a motorbike and the bullshit filter kicked in and ruined the whole thing. It's a real shame because we had all the dancing girls for that one, but we've gone back with the budget now and we've just got these guys and me. So what we were talking about during that was all the upgrades to the modern classics that Triumph have done. And I think John's covered quite a lot of that in his YouTube videos that he's done recently. And if you haven't seen them, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the last one he put out was actually related to the Speed Triple RS, which had just arrived in the showroom at that point, and John had not had an opportunity to ride it. So I believe you've had an opportunity to ride it now, John?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Managed to get myself out on the bike on Wednesday. Managed to dodge a couple of showers whilst I was out. I think it was a case of, that looks like it's going that way, so if I keep going left and head there, we should be right. But yeah, what an absolute phenomenal bike in that absolutely beautiful sapphire black as well.
Yeah.
And light, agile, feels very much like a grown-up version of a street triple. In my opinion, with the, like I say, the bars being slightly wider, the foot pegs being slightly further back in. The biggest thing that sort of took me away, or a couple of things to be fair, one was the wind from the bike. Now I'm only a short rider anyway, as you said before in the
Did I
Peter
mention
Jackson,
that before?
yeah,
Really?
sort of,
Did I mention that ever?
sure, you said that about the wind protection from the bike. Even being sort of bolt sat upright, in the wind as best I could to try and sort of feed it from there. So I don't know if it's got that slight diffuser underneath the headlights with that big sort of clock. So with the addition of a screen and a visor, it should be absolutely brilliant. And the clocks, again, probably if I'm being completely honest, being so used to how the other clocks operate, and you probably know this as well, Gawin, is that you're so used to the flick of left and right and what the clocks do and how they operate. And this all new sort of clock system, the way the screen tilts so you can access the menus, was a little bit of a, this is something new, but no different in sort of getting an upgrade on the phone and getting used to it that way around. And the smoothness of the box, the way it accelerates, peach of a perfect bike for me.
Did you notice there's been a massive 20% power increase over the old model, and obviously they've put it on a bit of a diet and taken 9 kilos out of the weight. Did you notice a difference in the manoeuvrability?
Yeah, so that's where the that sort of reminiscence of a street triple comes from. The way that the bike handles. I mean, it is ever so slightly taller, about 5 mil or something like that.
I think it's 10 mil taller.
Is it 10 mil taller? Yeah. But yeah, the accelerator. I mean, the 1050 engine. It's an absolutely brilliant engine anyway in terms of the torque low down to then the high end rev range that the triples have got. But this 1200, if you wanted it to be, it can be absolutely blistering in terms of the 0 to 60 or the 0 to whatever kind of sort of speeds. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, this is a category really that Triumph invented, isn't it? So, I guess it's all about rideability and handling as well as having that power there. And you just went out on it just before.
I was going to say literally just before I come on. Yeah, I've just ridden it. My first impression is it's a phenomenal machine. Coming back to what you were asking about the weight saving, you can certainly tell the chassis has been amended and where they've saved weight because it's so responsive in the bends and roundabouts. As with all triples, and like John was saying, the speed triples always had loads of torque, but from sitting at 55 mile per hour, ready to overtake a lorry in top gear, crack the throttle open, and it just wants to go. There's none of this mess. You can put it down a couple of gears, get the auto blipper working, and give it a big right hand, but actually it's just usable at 55, 60 mile per hour. You've got a lorry in front of you, it's clear, let's go. And you don't have to be thinking about your gears. It gives plenty of time to just get around those lorries, get gone, and enjoy it. You do notice the power. I was just saying to you actually off air that when I rode it, I was always a gear higher than I expected to be.
Right.
With the amount of power and torque it's got, you're not having to use the bottom of the rev range where you would normally on, let's say, the street triple, for instance. But with it being a Let's Power bike, you can be a gear higher everywhere, which obviously gives you instant torque and then usability again.
Yeah. That's what I said in the motorcycle news video when they did this launch at Donington, is that where you'd expect corner curves in every gear to be, say, second, that was third.
Yeah.
And again, touching on something that they said in the video and some of the views, that the firmness of suspension. Now, I don't know the type of roads you went out on early, but when I was on roads, everything was nice and smooth tarmac, and it was absolutely pristine, the way the bike just kind of sort of it was gliding over the tarmac and the way it handled. But going on to slightly less smoother roads, a little bit bumpy, of course, there's going to be a little bit of jittiness to the bike and the suspension, but not enough where it's bone rattling. So I think that's one of the biggest points that the internet's sort of saying at the minute, is that the suspension's quite firm, but in my opinion, it kind of needs to be a little bit for the amount of torque or the hard braking that you have to do to with the power of the bike.
And that's another thing that impressed me. Having not ridden a triple for a while, certainly the RS varieties, how good the brakes really are. You forget how good the brakes are on these. The typical situation of coming out to set traffic lights, they just change on you. Normally you'd go, I haven't got time to brake with that. You just anchor up on these and it is instant. The brakes, because it's been such a while since I've ridden a triple in the RS types, that the brakes are phenomenal. Really, really good.
Have they been upgraded from the last model, or?
I think it's the. I'm not too sure if it's the same. I always forget the name. It's like mono.
It's the M5s, isn't it?
Yeah,
Brembo M5s.
Yeah.
I think it's got the. Well, it has got the lean angle ABS and traction control on them.
Right.
But again, unless you're really anchoring on, you're not going to really notice that. But again, it's nice to have there if you need it.
Yeah. It's a really exciting machine then.
Yeah, definitely.
And along with all the other upgrades to all the rest of the range, I think people need to come on down and
contact us through the usual channels and the website and whatnot. And if you've got a pen and you just want to sort of take note, it's 0115 946 T0. So give us a shout and get yourself out. I think. Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Facebook page, and of course go on to pidcock.com and subscribe to our newsletter, so that then you'll get updated with all the latest information before everybody else. So, I think we'll leave it here until the next time. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you again soon.